Hey there, YouTube. I'm back from the range. I've shot the 320 Legion X5 a little bit, and I can give you kind of my first impressions of shooting the gun, actually. And I'll say overall, it was pretty positive. I was shooting it pretty well. It's about what I've expected so far. But let's go over kind of the pluses and the minuses with this gun. So first, the thing that I like the most about the gun, the frame, I will say, whoop, she still doesn't want to go into battery. Anyway, the thing I like the most about the gun really is the frame. The frame feels super good, super natural. And what I noticed is that right away, using the gun, let me grab my ears. I'm using this Baller Boss rig from the Pro Shop. It's easy to set the position on this thing, so I have a lot of flexibility. And then actually, when the gun's in here, this equipment combo, it's this thing is super intuitive to draw. I'm coming up on a really good grip right away every time, just because I'm very friendly with this frame. I get along with it. I like the feel of it. I like the balance of it. It has enough space for my support hand. Just this frame works for me really, really well. And it's you can tell just first impression, man, I like the frame. And then in shooting it, that really shone through. It's yep, I really dig the frame on this thing. This is great. The other thing that I like, the mount on the dot is great. I mean, I'm not having any issues despite not using Loctite. The dot stayed on there. I'm happy with that. Overall, that's the frame and the sight mounting, that's the stuff that was good about the gun. And it's not that the other stuff is horrible, it's just it doesn't really stand out that much. So I'd say the gun mechanically seems plenty accurate. It seems very mechanically accurate to me. Now, there's a couple of things that are kind of weird. Now, first, you're seeing this thing doesn't want to go into battery. It doesn't want to. It will go into battery. I didn't have any issues actually shooting it. But it's just got that weird thing. It doesn't want to go into battery. And shooting it, it's kind of like that. It's not that it's just not going into battery. It's the slide reciprocation, it feels weird. And it's weird in a way that's hard to articulate. You'd say, hey, the bore axis on this thing is bad. A lot of guys look at that and hey, it's bad. And when you're shooting it, it's well, it's not. It doesn't feel so much like the bore axis that's bad. It just feels it feels strange cycling. My hits are patterning in a little bit of a vertical stripe, and I don't do that with other guns. And it's I'm trying to figure out what it is, but there's something about the way the gun's recoiling that I want to react to and torque it down. It doesn't feel like the grip axis. I say that, but maybe that's what it is. I don't really know. I don't love the reciprocation of the gun. Now, with different springs and all that stuff, that'll probably get a lot better. The other thing that I don't love, and I don't love on my first impression, is the trigger. Now, this gun, the frame feels so good, and the gun feels mechanically accurate and all of that. It feels so good that I feel like I should be able to, be just a tack driver with this thing. Just insane accuracy. But instead of an insane accuracy, I'd say it's kind of good. The way that my hand falls on the gun, I want to, heel up slightly when I pull the trigger. And again, it's not so much the properties of the trigger. It's a little bit that it's kind of spongy, but it's also the position, the measurement backstrap to trigger face is a little bit long for me. It's not just the characteristics of the trigger. It's also the way it's fitted. I would say it's not fitted great for me, and it's a little spongy. In combination, I want to heel the gun up just a little bit. And I find that somewhat annoying. Oh, sorry. The other thing I love, the slide stop, all that. I mean, the controls on the gun, the slide stop mag release are awesome. So, after a few hundred rounds, the gun, it's basically what I thought it'd be. There's a couple things, the couple things I don't like about it are holding it back a little bit, but the potential, in terms of performance, in terms of hit factor, feels crazy with this thing. With a slick trigger, this frame, this mag well, the way this thing is set up, I could shoot some insane times on drills with it, I'm very sure. And I don't think it'd be that hard to do. It's just a matter of like training with it and getting very friendly with it and maybe making a couple of changes. So anyway, that's it. That's the first rounds fired. I'll pop back on and give it more. I'll give it more discussion, I think, after 1,000 rounds. And then I'll just keep shooting it. I'm planning to shoot this gun hard the rest of September into October. Probably be my primary gun in October. So, yeah, like I said, we'll see how it goes.